Green flag in Charlotte.
You are clear. 21 half back. Still clear. Right with. Right with. There you go. In line. You're clear. He's still pushing you. He's clear by 3. Off of you by a foot. Still in line. Inside. Inside. Inside.
Matt DiBenedetto steals the lead in turn 3.
Matt DiBenedetto had those elbows up. Oh, already a wreck here.
No.
51 at Joey Gase, and then
Garrett
53,
Smithley.
yeah. Heavy contact. Probably knocked the fuel line off. That looks like a little bit of fuel burning off.
Smithley, you're looking at here, started 33rd. Joey Gase, 36th. Good bit of rear end damage there to Gase's car. Smithley out of the car quickly and okay.
Looking around the car as if maybe something failed on that car, Mike. Usually, you know, when you're a driver and you get out and you've got some questions of how that may have happened, you usually walk around the car to take a look. Of course, he could just be looking to see what kind of damage they had. Those two that made contact and have heavy damage, actually teammates.
A lot of right side damage. Of course, after getting into the wall, the right front is down, and as it all happens, looks like Quinn Houff and Josh Bilicki just got away from that one. Oof. I didn't realize Gase's whole trunk lid had come detached on one side.
Yeah, heavy rear damage. And you can see where Smithley already and smoke underneath the hood. I just wonder if something failed in the right front, and I think maybe he was underneath Joey Gase, maybe even leaking some oil or something, but it looks to me like he just slid into the wall and maybe took somebody out with him.
Not sure if it was a factor in this, but there are reports from other drivers that Tyler Reddick's car is leaking oil.
Still inside, no run from behind. All good behind you. 88 inside. 3 to 1 back behind you. Inside, inside. 3's inside, no pressure out back. Top of 3 outside the 88. Top of 3. Top of 3. Top of 3. Top of 2. Top of 2. Still inside. Clear behind
Austin
the 12.
Dillon
Shooting him.
feeling good about his race car. We saw him go 3 wide to the outside earlier in the race. Now he goes 3 wide to the inside.
He and his teammate Reddick working together, trying to gain some spots on the bottom. Clint Boyer on his pit stop, too many men over the wall. Had to restart out back.
Sorry, Mike. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. putting it up top, up into that traction compound to make some moves.
Put Stenhouse up to 6th in the 47.
Ooh, and a big slide there through the middle, 3 and 4. See, Tyler Reddick was almost 3 wide with Kevin Harvick there for a second. Had to slide up in that outside groove behind Buescher.
Harvick's in 10th in the number 4. We go back to 12th here, and Chase Elliott.
See Chase putting those right sides in that traction compound. Had to get out of the gas. I'm not sure if he was tight right there or loose. We talked pre-race about how important it is to unload and start this race strong, because it is a short race. You're not going to have a lot of opportunities to make adjustments. Kyle Busch right behind him. Boy, a lot of out of the throttle right there for Chase Elliott.
Eric Jones to the inside of his teammate. Side by side for 13th there, and Martin Truex looking into that battle. You're riding Eric Almirola. How loose Bubba Wallace is off the corner.
We heard Vince, talk about how many crew chiefs were complaining about their cars being loose. Here's a battle for third place. Ryan Blaney takes it away from Kurt Busch.
8 to go in stage 1, and Ryan Blaney closing on Matt DiBenedetto for second place. Chase Elliott, last lap 30.59. That makes him faster than everybody that last lap except Joey Logano and Kyle Busch. Just a matter of hundredths.
Well, and he's in traffic too, so it didn't look like the car started the way he wanted it to, but it is definitely coming to him now.
Penske 1, 2, 3. As the stage winds down, Chris Buescher in position to get the final stage point. Boy, Ricky Stenhouse having a solid night so far. Challenging for 6th. Austin Dillon right behind him.
You know, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in that 47, he just needs an uneventful race. Think about that Darlington race, crashing on lap 1. He's not even had a top 20 finish since we were back at Auto Club Speedway a few months ago.
Well, he's feeling good about it tonight, Larry Mack, and you can tell by the moves he's making how that car closes up on those ahead of him. So I think he might, you know, if he can stay clean and stay out of trouble here, I think this team can definitely put a top 10, maybe even better tonight together.
Stenhouse in 7th, his teammate Preece in 17th. And car 17 holding down the final point paying spot here 4 laps from now. Second place, Ryan Blaney going for it. Boy, he had a great Coca-Cola 600.
Oh boy, that got really close.
Yep.
There with the lap car of Bilicki and DiBenedetto. But yeah, this 12 car and Ryan Blaney, we've seen moments this year. They have been incredibly fast and strong. Finally put a nice result together in the 600, and now they're following that up. Teammates at Penske 1-2 right now, and DiBenedetto and the Wood brothers making it top 3.
Stenhouse going for 6th on Kurt Busch. Three of the 4 Penske cars up front, counting the Wood brothers. The other, Brad Keselowski, rebounding from a cut tire that helped bring out a caution. And Keselowski's up to 25th. As we still have 35 cars on the lead lap. And Chase Elliott now all over Kurt Busch for 8th place with 2 to go in the stage and pit road closed.
Yeah, right now our top 4 are all Fords, and then the next 5 behind that Chevrolets. First Toyota back in 11th.
Kevin Harvick moving on Matt DiBenedetto.
And watch Kevin Harvick. Ooh, that was a pretty scary moment. He was in a vulnerable position right there. That air was not coming to the front and to create downforce for the 4 Kevin Harvick the way he wanted. But I was just about to say, Kevin Harvick can put his car anywhere. That's what's making him so good right now. He can go up high, middle, or the bottom.
Final lap of the stage. Logano gets the flag.
Get the push hard. 88's one off you. It's off the half off. Get the push hard. Halfback 88. Little run coming in line here. Halfback 88. Halfback still in line. 21's half off.
Stenhouse 4 wide on the outside of Kyle Busch. Still 4 wide going into 3.
Oh, hang on.
Almirola. Boy,
And he does.
Great save by Eric Almirola.
Kyle Busch.
For Kyle Busch.
He got way loose coming off the corner, and they just fly on by him.
Boy, did he and Stenhouse make some contact and cut that tire down. I think that is his problem. Oh, look at the left rear tires down. So somebody made contact, he and somebody else made contact with the left rear. Very similar issue what we saw with Matt Kenseth earlier. Here's a battle up front though, still going on. Second place, Kevin Harvick taking it away from Blaney.
Going to be real interested to see how Kevin Harvick runs this stage. Stage 1 was a series of 20 or 30 lap sprints for Harvick. This stage, well, they've got 50 to go. How will he handle it?
He still looks like he's in a sprint race to me. Here's some issues for Kyle Busch. Look at him 4 wide going into turn 3.
Oh yeah, he and Almirola made contact.
Boy, it did not take much. You know what I think, Mike? I think the exhaust pipes where they come out of the right side, they only stick out about a half an inch. That's all it takes to cut that left rear tire when he and Kyle Busch made contact.
Kyle has made it back to pit road.
Clear.
Lead change.
Yes. Kevin. Well, I didn't have to wonder long how Kevin Harvick would run this stage.
He is
flat out.
He's got a fast race car and a lot of confidence. Right there, you heard that little tiny bit of contact, and that's all it took to cut the left rear tire of Kyle Busch. I can relate to that, Mike. That's exactly what happened with me and Keselowski in 14 at Texas. That same similar type of thing where we came side by side, barely touched. But boy, if you just touch in the right place, and then exhaust pipe can cut that left rear tire very easily.
Looked like Almirola was told that Eric Jones was to his inside, and he just moved up the track a foot or so. But there wasn't anywhere for Kyle Busch to move up higher as they were 4 wide. Third place now. Bowman over Blaney. Behind Harvick and Logano.
We knew that was going to be very costly for Kyle Busch as he came in to get tires. He's 2 laps down. And you can see some sheet metal hanging off that left rear also. I promise you that's not helping the performance. That's creating some lift back there, if anything. That's a wing in the wrong direction that you want for a race car.
And everybody, starting with Logano, is going to have to give Kyle a wide berth there with that bit of sheet metal flapping. Now he's right behind, rather Kyle Busch is right behind race leader Kevin Harvick and 2 laps down. But Harvick's fastest car on the racetrack. No chance of catching him to unlap himself right now.
And Joey's got to be really careful not to get too close to the 18. That could easily cut his tires down. You can see, you know, the fresher tires of the 18 Kyle Busch, not to mention motivation. He has good speed. You can also see where Joey Logano wants to side draft so badly to try to complete this pass on Kyle Busch, but he knows he can't get too close.
Clear, clear, clear. Driving away. Don't worry about him.
And Bowman right there.
Back 12.
That's Kevin Hamlin, Alex Bowman's spotter.
Even. Still there. Clear, clear, clear.
And look, Jeff, Kyle is giving these fellows as much racetrack width as possible. I mean, he's staying way up the racetrack, not crowding anybody with that piece of sheet metal flailing like that.
No, I mean, Kyle Busch is a professional. He knows he's 2 laps down, but he knows that he needs to try to get one of those back if it's at all possible, but you can't do it all in 1 lap.
Nope. Chase Elliott 7th. And now here's Bowman going for 2nd place on Joey Logano. Let's go back to 8th place now, where Chase Elliott has dropped a spot. Vince?
Yeah, he had some contact with Austin Dillon on pit road the last stop, and then as Chase got back out and up to speed, thought maybe that he had a tire issue, a tire going down. That does not seem to be the problem, but as you said, he just lost a spot. Austin Dillon in that 3 was also concerned after that contact on pit road, wanting to make sure that the 9 camp knew it was accidental, there would be no retaliation. 1 into the wall there, Mike.
Yep, 1 bounces off the wall, and we are under caution again.
Quinn Huff, I believe, is who made contact. Yes.
Caution at lap 74. for Quinn Houff. Up and into the wall with a bit of damage here. Whole right side.
Oh, looks like, I think that's the 15 there.
It is.
Brendan Poole got loose underneath, comes up the racetrack and clips Quinn Houff and sends him sliding sideways, makes a little contact with the outside wall.
Corey LaJoie scoots by.
Gregory. 12 still with you. You're just clear. You're clear. 12 tight on your bumper. You're still clear up. Half back, half higher. You're still good. You're clear by 2 to the top. 12, 1 back bottom. All good here. All good, all good. 2 wide behind you. No run coming here. To the top, 3 back, but you're good. 2 back top, 1 back top. All good. Higher, half with you to the top. You're still good. All clear, all clear.
Matt Kenseth got the free pass. He is back on the lead lap as Alex Bowman leads from Logano.
Mike, I'll tell you my decision why I want to stay out with no tires right now, because I don't want to be in that mess.
I don't blame you.
That is absolute chaos back there.
See Martin Truex there with Denny Hamlin running together. Vince?
Yeah, it's been a tough night for the Gibbs group. Remember at the beginning of the show, I told you that Kyle Busch's team talked about how important it was to roll off close to where you needed to be. All 4 of the Gibbs cars have really been struggling tonight, all with loose conditions. We documented Kyle's problem with that flat tire a little bit ago, but the 19 and 20 have both been on the splitter. The 11 has been wicked loose. He just made an air pressure adjustment. They've all taken significant swings at their cars to try to make them better. We'll keep an eye on the JGR team, see if they get better as this night goes, but we're running out of time.
Yep. Eric Almirola, he has been a pinball. Greg Galding just bounced off him. Had contact earlier that brought him to pit road, but he is hanging in there in 31st on the lead lap.
Well, a little bit of that damage that we talked about on the right side of his car. That right side's very sensitive, so that might be causing him some downforce and side force issues also. Here's Tyler Reddick, rookies going at it. Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick. Tyler's made some pretty wild moves here. That he's put that 8 car up high and it has stuck, and he's gone by, what, 2 or 3 since the restart. Top 5.
Another great run for the Xfinity Series champ.
And I talked about Christopher Bell. I really believe that team is starting to get on a roll.
Ryan Newman, he's in 17th, passing Hamlin. Harvick coming with him. And Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace battling for 8th. Last week, Bubba had the Air Force, and they had that scheme, graphic scheme on the car from the A-10 Warthogs. Well, where did they get it? They got it from the World War II Flying Tigers. So, sorry, I skipped a generation last week, but you can credit both.
All I know is it's a cool looking.
Yes, it was.
Scheme. 3 wide with Harvick going into 3.
He is taking no prisoners tonight, Jeff.
Well, he has a very fast race car, and every time that he comes up to somebody, he just takes no time in being able to pass them. So that just tells you how good that race car is and how good Kevin Harvick is at maneuvering it.
Now, we had heard radio chatter that Martin Truex had thought that maybe he scraped the wall, but we did not see any apparent damage on his number 19.
Oh, you see some tire rub. We had seen this a little bit earlier when they were 4 wide, and with that whole incident that happened with the 10 car of Almirola and 18 of Kyle Busch, there was a little bit of a tire rub, and you're seeing that pop up again here on this 6 car. Watch that left rear tire. You can see how it's shiny. Boy, you just hope that doesn't get any worse than that.
Right. Logano's got company. Ryan Blaney is the one driver of Roger Penske's 3-car stable who has not yet been to victory lane. Vince?
Joey Logano there in that yellow 22 says he's got a little bit of a vibration. He doesn't think it's anything major yet, but a small vibration can turn into a problem in a hurry. And right behind him is Ryan Blaney. Blaney has really liked his car all night, but he says it's just a little bit free, high in 3 and 4. And if they can get that sorted out, he feels like he's got a car that can go to the front.
We'll have to watch that vibration on the 22 car. You know, we've had so many vibrations since we've come back. And you just wonder, is that, you know, something that's going on with these teams just not having the reps and still getting into that rhythm. Here's the 9 car. Chase Elliott, first car with 4 tires on that last caution, and he's already up to 6th place. He's making a lot of moves. I think he started, what, 18th on that restart.
He is quicker than the race leader on that last on this run. On that last lap, he's quicker than the leader, and as you pointed out, up 12 spots from the restart. Bubba Wallace chasing some stage points, as is Christopher Bell in 8th. Wallace in 9th, looking for 8th, Vince.
Yeah, how about that? 8, 9, and 10. Bell, Wallace, and Nemechek. It is big for Bubba Wallace inside that top 10. He and Jerry Baxter, they don't have a ton of resources, but they make the most out of what they've got. And there's a great relationship between Bubba and Jerry, and that has helped them as well. This is a team that they're going to get the most out of what they've got. Not going to be a great number every week, but they've got potential to rise up and have that kind of night, and I think we're seeing it tonight.
Agreed. Good run for Bubba here. Midway. We are past halfway, which means this will be a complete race tonight. And it's on to Bristol. Bowman now with 2.5 seconds on Ryan Blaney. Logano another second back. Chase Elliott another half back.
Tell you what, both of these young guys have been impressive this year. I just remember the great battle that happened between Blaney and Bowman at Las Vegas earlier in the season. See Chase Elliott there closing in on Joey Logano. Harvick not far behind him. Here's a good battle for 9th place.
John Hunter Nemechek, for a rookie with a mid-level team, punching above his weight. I mean, he right now is positioned ahead of a lot of cars that have more experienced drivers and more resources to work with. He's having a great night.
Yeah, Mike, his crew chief Seth Barber, he like some others came to pit road that last caution and got 4 fresh tires. And this is where, remember what Kevin Harvick said, late into a run is where 4 fresher tires tends to pay dividends.
He is second among the rookies as Nemechek moves to 9th place.
And I just think, you know, if you're going to be on the front row, yeah, 2 tires, no tires, you have to have that clean air. If you're any further back than that, boy, you really need that mechanical grip that 4 fresh tires bring you.
3 laps to go in stage 2 of the Alsco 500 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. 112 laps complete. Winding up stage 2, Alex Bowman has things well in hand, but Joey Logano's 3rd place spot is in jeopardy here from Chase Elliott.
Joey going to make it difficult, making Chase have to guess where to go going down into turn 1. And that's what you do as a driver. You want to look up in your mirror and you want to make that driver think you're going to go to the low lane, so they go low or they go to the high line to try to get some clean air, and then you drift up to the top. Make that car really wide before, you know, as we just close out a couple laps here in this stage. Another good run for Chase Elliott. It's going to go to the inside. Whoa, oh. That was close.
Logano didn't want to give him any room.
Well, Logano really wants this 3rd place stage point that's about to come here.
Alex Bowman rounds it off the corner to complete 115 laps, get the green and white checkers for his 4th career stage win, all coming within the last 6 races.
Two tight. Pushing outside, you're still even, 2 by 2. Still even, they got a little run at your bottom here. You're good. 12 still outside at your door coming back. Still at your right rear, 2 by 2. No push from the 9, he's 1 back, 12 still outside, nothing from the 88. 12 still at your right rear, you clear the 12. He's back there now, outside and clear. Clear, 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 clear by half. You in the 22. River 1 back to the 9 on the bottom. 2 by 2 out back, still at your right rear, tight 22. Coming back even here. Side jab the hell out of you there. Still there outside, giving you a little room this time. Still outside though. Still coming back to your door, tight. He's got momentum. Then it's 2 back to 2 wide behind you guys. You're in the 22.
2 by 2 there, 3 by 3 a little further back. Bubba Wallace made a nice move to the inside to move up to 7th spot.
It's not just intense, Mike, for those drivers out on the racetrack, but that's a tough job if you're a spotter like Tim Fedewa.
Speak quickly and clearly, and don't get emotional.
See if Chase Elliott can do similar to what Kevin Harvick did. Got position, side drafted Joey Logano into turn 3. Has that preferred lane on the bottom. Here's Harvick coming after our leader, Alex Bowman. We've seen how fast Kevin Harvick is. We're going to find out if he can get by this 88 car. I think that shows you just how much speed this 4 car really has right now, because we've not seen anybody be able to go up there and pass guys like the 88 or the 22 today once they have that lead.
Penske cars for 4th place. The Mustangs of Logano and Blaney slugging it out, and for the lead.
There's Harvick with that outside move. That's what I'm saying, Mike. He can go anywhere. You can see the 88 of Bowman really committed to that bottom lane. There goes Kevin Harvick to the lead. Wow.
Just powered right around the outside, and it's stuck.
And they unloaded this evening, or yesterday. they got it right, and it's showing right now. So obviously some guys are going to have to make a few adjustments if they're going to be as good as Kevin Harvick tonight.
Ricky Stenhouse in a rare on the bottom move. Usually first couple laps after the restart, he's right up against the wall, and he was.
He was inches away from the wall through turns 1 and 2 again on the restart.
He likes it up there. Stenhouse up to 11th. Christopher Bell.
Jimmy Johnson making a move back on Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Got a big run off the top, goes to the inside. Oh boy, when Stenhouse got to the right rear, Jimmy Johnson almost pulled him up into Bubba Wallace. Eric Jones taking advantage of all that. Mike, I think one of the reasons we're seeing so much action, a little more than we did on Sunday, is just this groove is widened out. That traction compound's really come in. There's 2 distinct grooves that these drivers can run wide open in.
William Byron on the outside of Di Benedetto, 24, working its way back toward the front after a bit of damage early on pit road. 15th at the end of this pack, led by Jimmy Johnson in 11th.
Ooh, just got real loose. Tried to work that high line down in 3 and 4 because it's been working so good for him in 1 and 2. Didn't work right there.
When you make the tires angry like that, how long does it take before you really feel like you've got your grip back?
Well, first of all, it takes your breath away.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So it takes you a lap or 2 to get your breath back, and then that right rear tire, yeah, it could take 3, 4, 5 laps before the car really starts to get the balance back that you liked.
Byron gets past Di Benedetto. That's 14th. And up here at 6th place, Denny Hamlin working Kurt Busch. Vince?
And it's amazing that Hamlin has worked his way up just outside the top 5 because they have been dealing with a handful of a race car all night long. Denny has complained almost from the outset that the car is on the splitter. They've been dealing with loose, but mostly the splitter issue. But still, somehow they've overcome and they've worked their way up now into 6th spot.
And Larry, that's with a whole different crew pretty much than what he had, because the penalty that Hamlin suffered for losing that weight on the pace lap Sunday night were what? Crew chief, car chief, and one of the mechanics?
Yeah, for 4 races, Mike. Most notably, his crew chief, Chris Gabehart, and Sam McCauley is actually on the box along with an engineer that's calling this race. So, yeah, that was a big hit for this 11 team, losing those 3 key members for 4 consecutive races.
Well, a lot of depth there at Joe Gibbs Racing, and it's showing with Hamlin in 6th place.
And we saw this 20 car, Eric Jones, show a lot of speed on Sunday. Starting to show it again right here as he comes into the top 10.
Ryan Blaney finished 3rd here Sunday night. Chase Elliott finished 2nd, and they're right back at it battling again.
Yeah, and Chase Elliott's pretty good. I mean, we saw earlier where he was extremely fast, maybe not as happy on this run as he was earlier, but I just think that goes to show you how good Ryan Blaney is right now. Oh, it looks like yeah, the 88 of Bowman got into the wall maybe off of turn 4. Heavy damage, smoke on the right front. He's going to have to come to pit road to fix that. It looks like it got loose. You can see, Mike, the car must have gotten loose and it got the right rear, pulled the right front around.
I saw Jeff on the ISO view coming off pit 4. He was all by himself. There was not another car near him. There he went.
Yeah, that started all the way back in the middle of 3 and 4. He was almost in the tire tracks of the 4, Kevin Harvick, trying to stay with him, and boy, the back end just stepped out.
So Bowman makes it to pit road for damage repair. Second place, 2 best friends, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, and now Elliott sets sail for Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, I don't know if there was just a set of tires that Chase Elliott didn't like or an adjustment that they went too far on, but it looks like the speed is back in that number 9 car. Now I think we've got the best 2 cars that we've seen come through the field, and now they're 1 and 2. Let's see what they can do with one another. Really, best 3 or 4 cars, I think, are lining up this field right now.
Harvick restarted 1st, Elliott 5th, Blaney 3rd, where he runs right now. And here's Ryan Newman working on Christopher Bell for 15th.
See if that tire rub's gone away for the 6 car Ryan Newman. Now still a little haze.
Yeah.
Hasn't slowed him down, hasn't cost him any issues. Hey, Stenhouse going after Denny Hamlin for 4th place. Great run tonight for Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
What a way to turn the season around.
You can see how important it is. You see that white and blue line at the bottom. It comes up the racetrack. You want to get your left front, maybe even your left rear on that white line to hook it, to pull that car around. Try to make that track as short as possible, have all the grip. You can see he does it again right here through turns 1 and 2. Going to complete that pass on Hamlin.
Move Stenhouse up to 4th. Been a rough season for him since winning the pole for the 500.
Kevin Harvick not really jumping away from these 2 up front here.
last time by, Harvick 5/100ths quicker than Elliott, who was a 10th quicker than Blaney.
When you're Kevin Harvick, you got control of this race. You've won as many times as he has. You run just as fast as you need to, Mike.
Here's Vince in the leader's pit.
Well, they didn't make any changes at all on that Kevin Harvick car during the last pit stop, giving you an indication of how pleased they were with it. They just told him, Tim Fedewatt just told him, you're pulling away from them during the corners, but they're a little faster than you on the straightaway. But right now, Kevin Harvick likes what he's got underneath him.
And that's just going to be the case. Just because the way these cars draft, that big spoiler, that huge hole they punch in the air, when you're the first car pushing that air, it's going to slow your car down. If you've got a draft from behind them, you're going to make those gains. So Kevin Harvick's car is still fast in the corners, and it's going to make it very difficult for them to use that draft to make the pass.
Bubba Wallace, before the last pit stop, said he was just hanging on. Just barely. Now he's 13th, just ahead of Martin Truex. Ryan Blaney still third, a little less than 2 seconds off of Kevin Harvick, and Elliott and Blaney are catching Harvick. Sounds like fuel conservation mode is in place on our leader here. His lap times have dropped just a bit.
Well, and Blaney's car takes off really strong, as does Kevin Harvick's, and it just looks like Chase Elliott's car doesn't take off as good. Now, are they saving fuel, or is Chase Elliott's car getting better and better on the long run and closing in on Harvick?
Or perhaps both.
He's there. Now, I think the only way that Chase, right there, Harvick had an issue. Here's his chance to go to the inside, side draft off Kevin Harvick. Use this lap car of Daniel Suarez as a pick.
New leader.
Wow.
Chase Elliott.
I was just about to say, I don't know how he's going to get by him unless it happens in lap traffic, and there the opportunity came. But you could see Kevin Harvick's car look like it just went away a little bit as he went down to the bottom.
For the last 3 laps, Jeff, Harvick had fallen off to 0.2 of a second slower than Elliott and Blaney.
Well, I just thought he was conserving fuel because he knew he had to go a little bit further. He was a little bit short after that last pit stop, Vince.
Well, Rodney Childers had actually told him that he was good to go to the end on that last pit stop, and Harvick said just a few moments ago, right after Chase Elliott passed him, he said, I just lost all my grip. Elliott, meanwhile, had asked Alan Gustafson, am I good on fuel? And Alan said, go for it. 5 laps later, he was past Harvick.
Wow. Yeah, Harvick this lap 0.4 slower than Chase Elliott and almost half a second slower than Blaney.
Well, it's just really odd that his car went away like that. I mean, it's the longest that we've run green with Kevin Harvick out front, so I don't know if just that clean air changed the balance of his car as the air pressure's built up in the tires, or if it was him having to maneuver around some of the lap traffic.
Alan Gustafson.
Well, boy, we all know that what Alan Gustafson and Chase Elliott are thinking right now. This thing is long from over. We're not going to get our hopes up until we're seeing that white flag and then the checkered flag after it.
Jeff, if I'm sitting on any of these pit boxes, I'm going through the what if. Through every lap that car goes around. What if the caution comes out now? What if it comes out? Because this is going to be a very long run. We have run roughly 35 laps on this run. So, and you can see where we have slowed down well over right at a second. So this is where you have to be thinking about what if? What if the caution comes out? What am I going to do?
Well, right now, one thing Chase Elliott's not doing is lifting. 30.53 last time by. And that is by at least a 10th faster than anybody else on the racetrack.
I think Blaney's a little bit better than Kevin Harvick is right now. He's just having a little bit of trouble getting by him. If he can get by him, he might. We're going to find out if he has the same speed as Chase Elliott, our leader. Boy, Blaney really made that look pretty easy, but here comes Kevin Harvick back. I just think Kevin Harvick just doesn't have anything to battle these guys back. Whatever he had, he is lost right now.
Larry, what could have happened to so drastically change the handling on Harvick's car?
Well, I think the track is changing, Mike. We've been monitoring track temperatures, and it just continues to go down. And yeah, that gains grip, but it also changes the balance of the race car.
So Harvick, early in this run, was clearly the fastest car on the racetrack, and now things have turned. Chase Elliott, your race leader, 30.76 that time. Denny Hamlin matching him for lap times, and Brad Keselowski, but Hamlin is 5th, Keselowski is 8th. Martin Truex in 10th, having a kind of un-Truex-like night at Charlotte.
Yeah, we've seen him just lead almost every lap here at this racetrack before.
Austin Dillon 9th. His teammate rookie Reddick is 13th. So 9th place for Dillon. And Brad Keselowski, after getting damage and a flat tire to bring out a caution way back at lap 29, has worked his way up to 8th, one spot behind his Penske teammate Joey Logano, who won a stage tonight, currently 7th. Kurt Busch restarted 4th. He's 6th right now. And Kevin Harvick finds himself in 5th, about 3/4 of a second ahead of Busch with 11 laps to go. Denny Hamlin, what a rebound for Hamlin, to 4th, behind Elliott, Blaney, and Stenhouse. So once again, Chase Elliott's out front in the closing stages of a Charlotte race with the lead, with the fastest car on the track.
Well, and I hate to say this, I said this in the 600. This is that time and that moment where you're thinking about every input, every vibration, every sound in that car, and then you're looking at the next car you have to pass, the slower car, hoping they pick the right lane, hoping that you can pass them clean, that there's nothing that goes wrong, and that there's nobody that spins out, has a tire issue. Well, that's what happened in the 600. These guys are hoping that and praying that surely this can't happen 2 races in a row to us.
Yeah, Jeff, the pace has slowed down. Remember, we went back racing with 59 to go, so we've run 50 laps on this set of tires. But I feel like if you can get within that 5 to go window, that you have to stay out. If you're up there like Chase Elliott is tonight, just like he was the other night, I just think when you're sitting here with 23 drivers on the lead lap, when you get down to about 5 to go, you know you're going to have only 1 or 2 laps that you're going to have to hold it off.
And there's the trophy in victory lane that awaits the Alsco Uniforms 500 winner.
Larry, as much as I think Alan Gustafson might like to have that decision back from Sunday, he's hoping he doesn't have to make that decision again here tonight.
You know what? I hope he doesn't have to either.
In Darlington, Chase got taken out on what turned out to be the final green flag lap of the race. He was in 2nd with fresher tires than leader Denny Hamlin. He was in position to try to win it. And then Sunday night, right here, with 2 laps to go in the Coca-Cola 600, his teammate William Byron spun to bring out the caution flag. And I'm reminded of that Far Sign cartoon where the devil is poking the pitchfork at a fellow who's looking at 2 doors. One says, "I'll clean it up. Darned if you do." The other says, "Darned if you don't." And the devil's standing there saying, "Pick one." The guy being prodded with a pitchfork was Alan Gustafson. He had to pick one.
He did.
Yep.
It was not an easy decision. And I think one of the things I'm noticing, the pace has dropped. The pace is the fastest laps these drivers have made tonight in the low 29 seconds. They're in the low 31 second bracket. And when you have a tire like this is a very hard tire to be able to stay durable at this racetrack. It's a very smooth, non-abrasive racetrack. You start to, when that pace starts to drop, you start to lose the downforce on that car. That car's not compressing. You're not sealing the air around that splitter the way you were. I think that might have a lot to do with these drivers having some difficulties with the handling on these cars right now.
Brad Keselowski just got past Kevin Harvick for 7th place, dropping Harvick to 8th. And even though the pace has slowed down, Chase Elliott's lead is increasing over Ryan Blaney. About 2¼ seconds right now with 4 to go. Denny Hamlin moved up to 3rd on Ricky Stenhouse. I know what you're thinking, Jeff. I don't want to say anything either. Nobody wants to jinx Chase Elliott.
Well, I mean, this team has been in position to win some races this year, and it just hasn't worked their way. And you know, you don't wish anything bad when guys work this hard and get themselves in position this many times. You know that eventually it's going to go their way, and you don't want to sit there and go, well, what's going to go wrong next? No. But you know, these guys have just had so many bad breaks. So with 2 laps to go.
But I like his attitude, and I liked his interview in pre-race. We're just going to race as hard as we can.
That's all you can do.
The wins will come.
And when you have a fast race car, that's what you fall back on.
You know what, guys? I'm happy for that guy right there on the right. I know we've come to the white flag, and it's not over till it's over, but I can seal this deal. I'm going to be happy for Alan Gustafson.
White flag waves. Can you hold your breath for 30 seconds? You might have to. 2nd place, Denny Hamlin takes it to Ryan Blaney. Hamlin now 2.4 seconds back. A couple more corners and Timmy Hill ahead for Chase Elliott.
Yeah, buddy. We did it, boys.
Checkered flag as a car spins through the quad oval. I think that was Christopher Bell to the finish. No, it was not. Michael McDowell. Had that happened 1 lap prior? Oh my gosh.
Right?
Not tonight. Not tonight. 7th win for Chase Elliott in his 157th career start. Last win was right here at the Roval 14 races ago. All 7 wins coming in the last 3 seasons and on 6 different racetracks. He becomes the 6th driver to win this season. Second place battle.
Boy, it almost looks like maybe a tire went down on Michael McDowell right there coming to the line.
Tonight, finally, Chase Elliott gets to burn down the house.
Nobody snatched it away from you tonight. After what you've been through, how good does it feel to be standing here now?
It feels awesome. Just, man, it's a tough week for sure. We've had some tough losses, but that deal on Sunday night was a heartbreaker. So it's not the Coke 600, but you know, any win in the Cup Series is really hard to get, and I really appreciate everybody at Hendrick Motorsports across the street here, and Chevrolet and everybody at the shop's been working really hard. Kelly Blue Book, Napa, Hooters, Mountain Dew. All our partners that have made this happen. Just appreciate it. Appreciate my team. Alan made a great call there at the end to get it tuned up, and luckily the run went long, and I think that fell in our favor.
What were the last 5 laps like?
I was just waiting for the caution to come out, to be honest with you. I thought either the caution was going to come out, I was going to break something, or I was going to crash one. So just after the last couple weeks, I just didn't think surely it wasn't going to go green to the end. So just glad it did, and glad we're hopefully back on the right path.
Well done.
Appreciate it.
Kevin Harvick led the most laps and seemed to have the dominant car most of the night. And then what happened?
It just falls off at lap 30. I mean, we knew that's what we had with our Busch Light Ford, and then it went straight 60-some laps. So they did a really good job turning the car around, total opposite of what we raced last Sunday. So it was a good test session for us and just didn't need a long run.
Thanks, Kevin.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.